Hello, 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 hello. Oh, we have a new sub, Jerry. All right, Jerry, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you for hanging out with us. All right, I truly appreciate that. All right, so I'm gonna get some music going. I don't know if you're hanging out with us right now, but thank you for letting me know. I appreciate that so much. I'm gonna get this intro going. All right. All right. Welcome back to What She Said. It is Sunday night. It's also Selection Sunday for the NCAA basketball tournament. So we'll give everybody a chance to join us. Jerry, if you're in there, thank you so much for becoming a new sub. And if you're just joining us for the first time, please don't be stingy with the like button. And if you can't stay long, make sure you hit the like button before you leave us, and hopefully we'll see you again soon. All right, so I'm just going to put on some music. All right, let's see here. Sharitha, hey Sharitha, how you doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Jerry just became a new sub, so we want to make sure we welcome him. Thank you so much. How's it going? You have a good weekend overall, a good Sunday? All right, we're just waiting for people to join. Anybody watch the NCAA? Any of the games? I have some faves that I'm hoping make it to the next round. I saw Xavier Weaver. Y'all know who Top 10 Zay is, right? Xavier Weaver from Colorado. All right. So we're going to give everybody a chance to join us. We are going to play a little game. It's not officially game night, but it's Sunday, so it kind of feels like it might be. Like it just might be. Let's see. All right, let's see if I can get it. Let's see. All right, perfect, actually. I almost said it. Okay, so hey everybody, welcome. All right, so while we're waiting for people, the squad, to show up, we're gonna play a little game. So I'll type the letters in the chat, but first I'll try to show them to you. Let me know if you can see them. ASB. Okay? This is a daily saying. I almost said part of it a moment ago. So I'm typing the letters into the chat. Let's see. We can get it in here. Let's see. Okay. All right. Like I'm giving it away. Okay. So this is a colloquialism, something that is said. This is something that is said. Sometimes when people begin a story or they transition to a different conversation, and usually you hear this. You hear it when somebody's telling you, it went down like this. It went like this. So it goes like this. This is another way of saying, so it goes like this. Or this is how it went. All right. So the letters are ASB. All right. I'm going to see if I can get this video up. Coach Prime is in Mexico. Now, I'm not sure what he was in Mexico for officially. He said he was handling business, taking care of business. Sam was with him. Then I saw Sam again with Shador. So Sam is a busy man. We talked about that. And some of y'all did seem to believe that Sam would be working for both Shador and Coach Prime. And I said, there's no way, right? Because their schedules are just like crazy. And Coach Prime, I guess after the last practice must have been Friday, he hopped on a private jet and he landed in Mexico City. Darius is with him. Sam is there. And then he went to his destination. First, it started out like he was like in a penthouse or a high rise overlooking Mexico City, which was beautiful. Shout out to Darius for getting to go. Talk about high places. Starting out as content creator. Now, traveling with Coach Prime to Mexico City. I think he said it was his first time being there in Mexico City. So Coach Prime was a stylist was there picking out clothes. Shador came on the line, basically telling the stylist he didn't want something to do with an outfit. I don't know. Remember, Damon said he was spoiled, and then here comes this video. So he and Coach Prime going back and forth a little bit. I guess he wanted his outfit to be different from Coach Prime, and he wasn't sure if she could get it together. The lady said she's been working with Coach Prime for a long time. That's who's his stylist, and Darius asked her, how would you describe Coach Prime's style? And I like what she said. She said elevated luxury. That's what she refers to it as, elevated luxury. So he looks like he was filming something. And he had, how he has a lot of shoes? He had a lot of shoes. He had on a very, very, very nice tracksuit by, it looks like the brand, the T with the circle around it, Telfair. Very nice. Very nice. And it did look like elevated luxury. But there was several different wardrobes he was having to choose from. So I don't know what he's filming, but he is in Mexico. And I don't know why Mexico City to film something that could be shown here. At first, I thought it was like official Colorado business. But I was like, probably not, because it's a university. So, and I don't think they have any business in Mexico City. So before, after his fitting, his styling, and whatever he was filming, because the trailer said Mr. Sanders. Whatever he was filming, it seems that it involves, you know what? I just thought about something. You know, I forgot Coach Prime got a TV show. Remember that show? It's about crime or something like that. I Got Time Today or something like that. Time Today. I wonder if that was his show he was filming, and for whatever reason he in Mexico. But what was interesting is everybody in the airport, a lot of people in the airport knew who Coach Prime was. One young man said, I've been, stopped him. I've been watching you since I was a little kid. And then, so I don't know why Mexico City, but I forgot he has a show. And the lady, she probably is his stylist for the show, because he does usually have on like some type of tracksuit. So it is very possible that he is on location for I Got Time Today, because all of the outfits were basically elevated luxury tracksuit. Very, very nice. We'll find out eventually. But I don't think he's filming Remember the Titans. And that's something that we were wondering if that's what was going on. So what I thought was special was when Coach Prime left the building or before he went in, there was a lady sweeping the street, trash off the street. Coach Prime took her broom from her, asked her could he see it, and he swept it up for her, and then he gave her the broom back. That's a good man. That's a good person. They say it's a good man, Savannah. That's a good person. So, Coach Prime's in Mexico City. Don't know how long he's there. I know he has a show called I Got Time Today, so I'm thinking that that's what it's gonna be. Anybody guess the clue yet? Let me know if anybody guessed the clue. The letters are ASB. I don't know if I shared this with y'all. I think I did. I feel like I did. Yes, I did. For some of you, I'm going to share it again, because some of you didn't see it. I'm going to share it again, and we're going to talk about basketball at some point today. So, right here.
Yeah, put them back, because he don't take care of his kids. Makes sense, right? Get somebody else like Ja Morant. He take care of his daughter. Kobe Bryant. Move, Jelani. Ja Morant, yeah. Kobe Bryant. He's a great dad, even after life.
All right. So, as you can see, we talked about this. This is a mother who did not want to purchase shoes from the brand or the actual shoe belonging to Anthony Edwards. So we talked about this, I think. And a lot of people didn't see it, but there was a lot of discussion, not just in the comments, about, how people really feel about men like Coach Prime, being a good guy, taking a broom from a lady, sweeping off the street, right? Giving it back to her. He doing her job for her. Basically showing her, he don't think he better than anybody else. He wanted to help her. She didn't need help. That's just what he wanted to do, right? And we deem that to be a good person, a kind heart, a gentle heart. So, when you have somebody like Coach Prime being dragged, you have somebody like Shedeur being dragged. Shedeur is very generous, takes pictures with anybody that asks. I don't really hear him cuss, not saying that he does it except for that one time when he was in the huddle with Travis, want him to catch the ball. But just in general language, you don't really see that. Then you got Russell Wilson, family man. That's all we know him to be, is a family man. Now, some people say he's a diva, but I'm like, I doubt he's the only one in NFL. But overall, good guy. Still a good quarterback. And if you listen to fans, they'll tell you, he's not washed. He's not even anywhere near washed, So I was thinking about a few days ago how the good guys are the ones being disparaged. For one, they all black. Okay, let's just get that out the way. But the good ones are the ones that are being disparaged. And then we have Anthony Edwards over here. I forgot to throw LeBron in there too. We have Anthony Edwards over here, not really seemingly caring about how children are treated, especially when he has children with so many different women, right? 4 kids by 4 different baby mamas, all under the age of 5. Excuse me. I don't know why when I get on here I gotta sneeze. So excuse me. So when you look at in the totality how LeBron is being trashed, and people wanted to know, was LeBron right for speaking up to Stephen A? I say yes, and Dwayne Wade came out and they basically were like, it's about time. So the good guys are being trashed. Now Steph Curry might be the only one that's not being trashed. We put him in the good guy category. But in terms of a lot of these stars where people just mind their own business, you don't see them out here in the media, mistreating people, they get trashed. Russ gets trashed. I say they're trying to blackball Russ. So I played it again because I know we saw it, but maybe there was somebody that didn't see it. But what I said was mothers are very influential in their sons' lives, and even at this stage. And when you look at the kid's face, when she said it, how he looked like, huh? Oh, okay. And she said, makes sense, right? So, and we don't know his relationship with his father. He might have one. But the point is, the good guys are the ones like LeVar Ball, being trashed. And you can't say, he didn't get his kids to the next level. And his son actually talked about that in his song, what's his name, Jello Tweaker or something like that. He even said, thank you to my father for getting me further. That's what he was saying, but he was trying to make it rhyme. But he didn't have to put that in there, So, at a time when we really have good guys being trashed, we got to be mindful when we have people out there that don't care how they treat other people, including their own children. We have to be careful trying to figure out who's going to be the face of any league that children are going to be impressed by. So that's what this video is about. This young man is impressed. He went to a shoe. He went straight to Anthony Edwards' shoe. This is not a role model for your children. This should not be the face of the league. It should be somebody like a Steph Curry. And when Steph Curry took the job at Davidson, which I proclaim Steph is actually planning his exit from the NBA, he said he wanted talented players as well as players with good character. So that should be what we're looking at going forward. And I think it is some of our job when we see good guys, good fathers being torn down to say something. I mean, I know we have, an individual voice here or there, but the collective does matter. It does matter as Target. Collective voices do matter. All right. So that's what I wanted to share there about, the good guys being disparaged and the guy that's really not of good character being the one they're trying to elevate and make the face of the league. It's almost like they want to take the worst one. Y'all remember when they used to say back like the 80s, maybe, when if something would happen in like an impoverished area, or they would go find the worst person, or if something happened anywhere, they would go find the person who didn't speak, vernacular, English. They will find somebody, who just was animated. They will find somebody that would be like cartoonish. And it seems like to me, when it comes to Black fathers who have platforms, LeBron, Coach Prime, LeVar Ball, they want them to be not seen and not heard. And that's what we are. That's really, that's what we are. So I just thought I would play that again and kind of so people could see that's pretty much what they're trying to do. They want to take somebody like Anthony Edwards and for kids to look up at him and think that that's okay. But let's see how many people talk about Carson Beck's situation, his infidelity with the person he was dating and his behavior, and how it went. And I might touch on it in a different capacity, but, it might, just like Justin Tucker, get swept under the rug. So we just got to be mindful of who they're trying to push onto us, who they're trying to, these leagues, trying to push onto our kids or kids that are Black. That's what I'm saying. So, all right, let's see if anybody guessed basically what was basically the puzzle. Let's see if anybody guessed it. It says, oh, thank you, Jerry. You're welcome. You have my support. I appreciate it. Sharitha said, What's that? Associate student body. No, that's not it, Sharitha. That's funny. That's hilarious. No, that's not it. And what we're trying to guess, I put it in the chat. We're just trying to guess what this letter said. All right, so I'll tell you. It says, all right, so boom. So essentially, when you start a conversation that's not formal, like very casual, talking to a dear old friend, maybe somebody you went to elementary school with, y'all still friends, and it's like a story, and you're telling a story, you might be like, all right, so boom, this is what happened, like that. So that's what it is. And I just thought it would be fun to play that. It says, what antisocial behavior? No. Hey, Blue Devil. How you doing? All right, let me see if I can pull this video up. All right, so I saw a sighting of Xavier Weaver. I made a little video, so let me see if I can get it. There's a sighting of Xavier Weaver. He looks good. Now, I don't know what's next for him. It's the off season. So is this where he works out like we see, like I showed Jalen Hurts working out? And I guess it's just the off season for them, and they're just working out because it's free agency. Or I don't hear anything about him making any moves or anything. So I don't know. But if anybody have any thoughts on what's next for Xavier Weaver, does he stay, with the Cardinals? Is he going back to the Arizona Cardinals? Things of that nature. Let me know. So I'm looking for the video with them. It's actually a video with Xavier Weaver. Coach Prime is in it also. Let's see. Maybe I didn't get it. Maybe I did not get it. I bet I did. Let's see. All right. So another story about Coach Prime, other than the fact that he is in Mexico. I know what to do. Hold on one second. Other than the fact that he's in Mexico, Coach Prime, there was I guess what they call, I've never heard of a anti-religious group. I've never, ever heard of such. So apparently there's this group that's out there, and they have an issue, and they wrote, now get this, a 4-page document. I'm assuming they gave it to Colorado, or they wrote it, and I don't know what they're going to do with it. But they wrote a 4-page document complaining about Coach Prime allowing Pastor Dewey Smith. Remember, after the games, they would be in the locker room. Coach Prime would say something good, and then they would go into a short prayer, and then, go on to the locker room activities. So this anti-religiously 4-page document is talking about how they don't like that Coach Prime allowed Pastor Dewey Smith to pray after Colorado defeated Baylor. And I'm thinking to myself, when did Colorado play Baylor? Wasn't that like way through the season last year? So it don't take that long to write a 4-page document. So why is this coming out now? So we talked about this the other day. We talked about how Coach Prime, while he's in contract negotiations, there are things that people are trying to disparage him for, basically to maybe sway Colorado from not bringing him back. And one of the things we talked about being possibly a hiccup, we talked about this when we talked about his contract last week, is this, right? Do y'all see how this could be a problem? We talked about, we don't see Coach Prime backing down off of praying. We just don't see it. In fact, who did we see this week? Denzel Washington. What is he now? An ordained minister. Reached out to Coach Prime, said he wanted to talk to the students, the student body. What did he talk about? He talked about life. He talked about God, how God saved him. This, that, and the other, right? Coach Prime could have said no. Did he? No, he did not. What that means is he's not backing down. He's not backing down. My question to y'all is, I'm re-uploading this file. Do y'all believe that this could be a deal breaker for Colorado because they have pressure from these anti-religious groups? And I do want y'all to understand that we do have a player who I think is special, Khalil Farrakhan. I felt like when he decided to come to Colorado, it was about making sure that he's good. And And that would have been anywhere he went. But I don't see Coach Prime backing down off this. Now, when you say anti-religious, somebody talking about God is not necessarily religion. That's Christianity. That's a faith. That's not religion. A religion is Catholic, Baptist, Lutheran, Methodist, or non-denominational. But when you speak like Denzel did about God, you're not professing a particular religion. You're speaking about your faith in God, which is Christianity. So I'm wondering if Pastor Dewey Smith just praying is something that, and I'm not going to go read this 4-page document, it's something that they feel is a reason that Colorado should move away from Coach Prime, because he's not going to back down off of that. Denzel and Coach Prime both have life stories where God saved both of them. And a lot of people like Coach Prime because he walks that walk and talks that talk. And if he get criticism, it's because he's not walking that walk that you would expect him to walk if he's a follower. That would be the only reason he would get criticism. And that really and truly doesn't happen. Not a lot. So I wonder if this is a hiccup. And the fact that this is coming out now, I just don't see Coach Prime backing down off of praying. Y'all let me know what you think. Obviously, I haven't seen any video yet, with Pastor Dewey being there or not, because it's the off season. So it'll be interesting to see Colorado's position. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Let me know what y'all think. I don't like it. I don't like the timing of it, because we played Baylor long time ago. Long time ago. So, I just think sometimes you have to wonder what people's motivations are. Let's see if I can find this video. Let's see. Oh, here it is right here. And I had already uploaded it. Okay. So getting ready to upload this video. I put a caption on it about what, the issue that I just talked to for Coach Prime. That's Zay. I just let it play. So that's Zay. Xavier Weaver, we talked about him. If anybody has any update on Zay, let me know if he's moved on from Arizona. Is he still in Arizona? It's just the off season. He posted the song. It's a artist named Guapoli. She falls into the category of like neo soul with another artist named Dwelle. And he used her song "Closer to My Dream." That's actually one of my favorite songs, at least used to be at some point. And, it's just a song about you almost there. So he posted that, and I didn't see anything on his IG. Normally in a bio that says it says athlete. It doesn't say Arizona Cardinal or anything like that. So I don't know if something's going on with him or not, or, it's just the off season. So I was wondering if anybody had any update, let me know. So that's Zay. It was nice to see him. He's top 10 Zay, top10.zay online, if you want to follow him. He has a dog, very beautiful animal, but Zay's face wasn't in the video. So I was like, they're not going to know who this is if I just show them the dog. All right. So this is Coach Prime. Let's see who's in the chat. Let's see. Blue Devil said facts. Yeah. Coach Prime not backing down off of praying. And I just wonder if this is an issue. And what people said in the comments under the story, they said they are really trying everything to get him out of Colorado. And yesterday, when they were practicing, I think Doc Livingston had his son up there. He's a cute little boy, wear glasses. And I'm starting to see more of the little kids like bringing the water and stuff like that. So, and it could be, because it was the end of spring break and a lot of students were gone. But I do like seeing the youth that are children of the people that work there, kind of get this kind of exposure to this environment. So somebody in the comments made a comment, "Oh, it's great to see Doc Livingston. Yeah, I can't wait till he takes over." And one of the comments that fired back was like, "Can y'all just let Coach Prime finish his job? Like, instead of basically acting like, Doc Livingston is already the coach, why don't we just go ahead and respect Coach Prime for what he's done for Colorado and the fact that he's still here?" So I wonder how that sentiment, if it's kind of moving through Boulder, You know what I'm saying? Like they just at this point waiting until the end of the Coach Prime era in Colorado because they have their man. All right. So this is what I was saying. It's like an anti-religious group hates on Coach Prime. I use the word hate intentionally. The American flag is there intentionally. After Pastor Dewey Smith prays after Colorado beats Baylor. So I put that there because I wanted y'all to see, you got to question people's motives sometimes. You can't just go, oh, okay, to everything. You have to question why now. You have to question if it's because they already believe they got their man in Doc Livingston. You have to question if this is something to push Coach Prime out because everybody knows Coach Prime is a man of God. And we know why. He's told his life story. So the timing of this makes me wonder if this is a wedge that's going to be used as a deal breaker. I don't know the Boulder community. I don't know CU as a university. I don't think they're a university that has like a religion like Baylor. Baylor, the crazy part is Baylor is a Methodist university. If you got pregnant in your freshman year at Baylor, you got expelled. That's the crazy part. So they actually used the Baylor game because I was thinking to myself, I know Pastor Dewey prayed after more than one game. So maybe they're trying to say, well, Baylor is a Methodist university. It's okay for them to do that. CU is not. So this ain't about God. This is not about religion. This is about CU not being Baylor in terms of they have rules and regulations and they subscribe to a religion. That has to be the only reason why they use Baylor, which makes me go back to what I was saying. The timing is suspicious. This is not about God. This is not about religion. This ain't even about Coach Prime. This is about Colorado University. So we're going to see how this goes. We're going to see how this goes. And it makes what Coach Prime said in that meeting when he was talking to Doc, not to Pat Schumer. It makes it start to make sense. You've been interviewing for head coaching jobs, right? We're going to make sure that happened at the end of this year. Maybe they put the ultimatum out there. You're going to have to move away from praying. People are upset about it. And if that's the wedge that they hanging their hat on, it's going to be interesting. It could be interesting. Hey, Queen T. So y'all let me know your thoughts about this. Sometimes on the surface things look one way. But when you start talking out loud or you start thinking about things, you start to kind of see an angle. Again, who just said that? Blue Devil. He prayed before games too. Exactly. Pastor Dewey did not only pray after the win against Baylor. They chose Baylor because Baylor is a Methodist, or I don't know if the term is parochial, university. That's why they put Baylor in there. They're like, CU is not that. And if somebody could grab me the date of the Baylor game, why now? When Coach Prime is in contract negotiation. Now you see this is not as simple as it seems. The parting of ways might not even come down to money. Because we know they got it. We talked about Coach Prime's contributions, the media rights deal alone. So now you see what could possibly be a hiccup. So now we have something to look for when it comes to negotiations. I still kind of think that that's why we're starting to see people in different positions and move around, because let's talk about this. Let's say, hypothetically, Coach Prime, like, I'm not backing down. I'm not backing down from God because somebody don't want me to talk about God, something so many people have reverence for and walk that walk, right? And they knew who Coach Prime was when they came and got it. See, that's going to be a problem too. They knew exactly who Coach Prime was because I know they prayed at Jackson State, and Jackson State didn't have nothing to say. Nothing to say. This is going to be interesting because this is something that they know he's not going to back down from. So essentially, you're trying to make him choose between y'all and Jesus. You say it's religion, but it's not. It could be spirituality. A lawyer can make that case. This is spirituality. Pastor Dewey didn't say he was from so-and-so Antioch Baptist Church. He didn't say nothing about a religion. It took them a while to write a 4-page document, and they chose the Baylor game because Baylor, they're trying to point out the difference between Baylor and CU, and CU is not that. And it's a wedge, and it's going to force the decision to be on Coach Prime. But really, it's not. Because Coach Prime can say, you knew who I was when you came and got me. So that's on y'all. So now the ball's in their court. And this ain't about money. With this coming out right now, this contract not being signed is not about money. All right. It says, I do not think he's backing down. Sharitha, Coach Prime ain't backing down from God. That ain't gonna happen. And a lot of people wouldn't. But we knew who he was before he got to Colorado, right? All right. So somebody's trying it. Somebody's trying it. And it's not just this organization. It's somebody that you can't see. And it's always that way. I wonder if the regent that didn't like Coach Prime when he was hired for the job and who was outspoken about it still feels the same way, or did he warm up to the idea of all of the money that Coach Prime brought to Colorado and he's not the problem? If you have a regent that's a problem like that, this could be why this is lingering with the contract, why this story about anti-religion and Pastor Dewey Smith praying first, this could be a serious issue that drives a wedge between Coach Prime and the school. It could be intentional, and it could be to force Coach Prime into a corner. And we know he's not going to do that. And that is also a way for CU to say, you know what, we wanted to do it, but we have to think of all sides, and we can't have these groups basically, applying pressure to us saying that what he's doing wrong, because we're not Baylor, we're not a parochial university, we're not Methodist, Catholic, etc. We're just a public university. That's how people do. They try to back you into a corner, and when you don't choose what they want you to choose, they like, we wanted to do it, but we couldn't. Stay tuned for more. All right, so that's Coach Prime and what's going on with that. So he probably not in Mexico City because of Colorado. It could be his own show or something else. If y'all just joining us, we're talking about Coach Prime in Mexico City. He's filming something over there. So we just gonna have to stay, sit tight and see what it is. All right, so y'all know who this is, and y'all see Coach Prime. So this young man is fast becoming recognized as a leader of the entire team. You know how we got Caden on offense, Juju on offense as quarterbacks, and quarterbacks to generally be the leader of the team, right? This year is this guy, number 77. Now, I don't know when he's eligible to come out of Colorado. I feel like he has 2 more years because he was a true freshman. Then this year he would be a sophomore. And then next year he will be a junior, which is what Travis is or was when he completed his time at Colorado. So I'm thinking we got him for 2 more years. And if that is the case, I think we're going to be solid. I watched the practice. I actually sat down and watched the instruction given to the linebackers. Of course, I didn't want to show it here. I think what is the coach name that came from Jackson State, but also came from Trinity? Is it Coach Hart? He's not the running back coach. He's the other guy. He was actually the head coach when Coach Prime started coaching at Trinity High School. West Shador went to school. I don't know his name, but he was just giving them some good instruction. They listened. It seems the vibe is different. The vibe is different without Shador and Travis. People keep wondering what the team is going to be like. I think the team is going to be fine. You got Caden, who you could tell Caden is hungry. He wants to win. You got Juju, who's obviously skilled. You got Ryan Staub, who's committed. So, committed to compete until, some things change. But I think skill-wise, I think we'll be good. It feels like we're starting over a little bit because we lost 20-some-odd people. The personality of the team has not come together yet, but the practices are different. So I was like, man, it's just really different without Shedeur and Travis, the laughing, the talking, the this, the that, and the other. And then I saw Bucky because I didn't know who somebody else was filming. And I said, there is Bucky, like that. Bucky was always, laughing, joking when they were not busy on the side with Shedeur, Travis, and the other guys. So it's definitely a different feel. It's not a bad feel. It's just different. This team is going to have a different identity. And for people asking, will Colorado be successful without Travis and Shedeur? The answer is yes. The answer is yes. What's different is the personality of the team. And the team has chemistry, but we haven't been able to identify the personality yet. We think, 77 Seton is a leader. I'm starting to see Jeremiah Brown more vocal, basically taking the initiative to get in the center when Coach Prime says, who's working the hardest, who's the, that kind of person like he did with Ben last week. And Jeremiah Brown didn't wait for him to finish. He just popped into the circle. And Coach Prime said, oh, okay, Everett, y'all all right with that? Meaning he actually is one of the hardest working. And somebody said, yeah. So Jeremiah Brown is like, hey, I'm here. So he wants to, become a leader of the team, just like Ben is looked at as a leader. But I think overall, the receivers looking up to Omarion are looking at Omarion for, navigation, and then Jordan Seton. But overall, I think Jordan Seton is the leader of the team. Well, one thing I noticed without Shedeur and Travis, it's solidified that those two are rock stars. Travis and Shedeur are rock stars. And when I heard Travis, y'all know I don't hold a grudge. I told y'all I wasn't following Travis. But when I heard Travis speak up about all of the disparagement, going Shedeur's way, and he said they trying to tear Shedeur down, I was like, so I don't hold a grudge. I'm back. I actually had on my Bland t-shirt early today. Plus, I posted his brother yesterday. I was going to do that regardless. But I'm back in the Travis fan base. I had on my Heisman t-shirt in New Orleans. Had on my Bland t-shirt today. And I was like, you know what? Let me just put on something different. But so I'm back. I'm not holding a grudge. So if you hear me talking about Travis, I was happy that he stood up for Shedeur. Because it takes courage when you're being drafted and you see the top guy. Everybody knows Shedeur is him being dragged. You might be scared to say something because they're saying that he's plummeting in the draft, which is not true. Or you don't want to say nothing because you don't want to plummet too. So Travis, like, look, I think they trying to tear him down. So it was nice for him to do that. And, somebody pointed out that they didn't care for the way Cam Ward answered a question, that he didn't see that they were setting him up to basically negate Shedeur. I was like, I get it, but these two are friends. And even though I have my doubts sometimes, I don't think he would do it intentionally. I think Cam will be more quiet. And so basically what Travis did, standing up for Shedeur, I expected Cam to do, but I don't think he's going to do that. Travis is already wealthy. Travis is a two-way player. Y'all saw the attention he got. He ain't got nothing to lose. What, they going to drop him from 4 to 5? They're not going to do it to Travis. So Travis had the courage to do it. And I'm not saying Cam Ward doesn't have courage. I'm just saying his road is different. $6 million valuation for both Travis and Shedeur. They got millions already. Travis said he ain't got $2 million in his bank account. I don't know why that is. That's a different conversation. But the point is, they both have millions already. They're both millionaires coming out of college. So their road and their path is a little different from Cam. So I'm not going to knock him, but I do need him to be vigilant for them trying to use you to pit against Shedeur. Don't fall for that, bro. Don't fall for it. You and Shedeur got a good thing. Y'all friends. Don't fall for that. Understand that these reporters are going to try to use you to tear him down. Don't let that happen. Y'all friendship is too solid for that. All right, so that's that. Let me check in the comments and see. It said if he leaves, players are leaving with him as well. You know what? I was gonna ask y'all. I was gonna ask y'all that. That's facts. Remember, I told a story the other day about Marshall, I'm assuming wherever Marshall College is in Texas or something, um, that the coach was only there for 1 year, and the kids liked him so much, the students, the football players, that when he got hired by some university in Mississippi, I think I went to cheerleading camp at this school. Um, I think so. So when he got hired to this university in Mississippi, all the kids hopped in the portal. That's what's gonna happen. Now there's some that's gonna stay. There's some that's gonna stay. But do you see the kind of sentiment that is starting to build as a result of Coach Prime not having a contract, even though we're talking about this whole trying to force him into a corner about prayer and not religion, because he didn't say nothing about religion, prayer, even though they knew who he was, which is kind of dirty. And then I told y'all it was kind of shady a little bit how they secured Doc and gave him this fat contract, which was historical. Now you see, as we getting close and close up the road and things are coming out, that there's something to that. And as people begin, see, this is what Colorado doing. I'm gonna tell you what they're doing. Colorado is listening for how the people that they want to retain are gonna feel. And I ain't talking about the players. They know players are gonna hop in the portal and leave with Coach Prime. I'm talking about the sponsors. I'm talking about the donors. They got to be very careful. So what you have to do is make a case for Coach Prime left Colorado. Breaking news. Coach Prime leaves Colorado. Colorado has to make a case for that. And to me, that's what this anti-religion looks like. That's what choosing Baylor out of all the schools that were prayed before and after. That's why Baylor, somebody is trying to make a clear case. And it might not be Colorado. I'm not saying it is, but that's what they have to do. They have to do something like that so it can come down to Coach Prime left. We wanted him to stay. Why? Media deals. That shit gonna blow right up. Media deals. Doc Livingston is a good coach. He ain't Coach Prime. It's not called the Doc Livingston effect. It's called the Coach Prime effect for a reason. And if I'm Doc Livingston, it's got to be a very uncomfortable feeling. It's got to be very uncomfortable. But but them kids, and one thing I have learned about Coach Prime, before something goes public, it's already locked solid behind the scenes. And it's not an if and let's do this. It's done. They said when he interviewed with Florida, he went in there with this binder telling them what the Coach Prime effect could do for them. And they turned it down. Arkansas too. Jackson State, opportunity. We know how it went. Now, Colorado, and what are people saying? We're thinking this is a money issue. So people are thinking, you know what? Colorado, don't be Jackson State 2.0 and come to this man with an offer at the last minute because it's poultry. Don't do that. Well, with this story right here, breaking, this is the beginning of making a case that Coach Prime gonna walk out the door on his own. We wanted him to stay. So the TV people will stay. The donors, remember the Buff Group made $28 million. They gonna lose some of that. And when people find out that this is potentially Colorado's doing all along to save face, to put it on Coach Prime, it's gonna get ugly. It's gonna get ugly. And then people like me, small channels, are gonna be battling against the, not ESPNs, because Stephen A. like Coach Prime, but against the negativity similar to what you see with Shedeur. The stones are already being set. We already up to probably right here. We need to get up here, but we're right here with Coach Prime basically putting it out there in front of everybody. You've been interviewing for head coaching jobs, right? We're going to make sure that's a reality. We're going to make sure that happens at the end of this season. That's why I think, honestly, y'all see me slowing down on Colorado content. I'm Coach Prime. I'm Colorado. The NCAA tournament kicked off. I realized, and I thought it was ironic. I said, let me see what Colorado finished in the Big 12. for the standing, dead last. Dead last. So what does that tell you? That they really don't have good decision making when it comes to hiring coaches. And they only have Doc because of Coach Prime. That makes this dirtier. You couldn't get him on your own. So what'd you do? It's not good. It's not good. So yeah, I'm gonna still be wearing my jacket. I'm still rooting for the team. Yeah, I expect if he go, every last one of them that want to go, gonna hop in the portal. I know some of them gonna stay. It might possibly come down to racial groups. It wouldn't surprise me. Not 100%, but overwhelmingly white with Doc, overwhelmingly black with Coach Prime. With a few people in the middle that's neither one, and they like, what do I have the best opportunity to play? So that's why you don't see me jumping to put out Colorado content. There's a change in the wind. And this story right here, I can see they building a case. Even if Colorado, we know Colorado didn't put this out, but somebody know what's going on and start hearing the sentiment from fans are already talking about, there's our coach. Yeah. Mm-hmm. The writing is on the wall. So it says, much to do about nothing, just attention seeking. I don't know, Jerry. I don't know. I'm not so sure. Linebacker coach, Coach Hart. Okay. That's his name. Okay, so I didn't know he was a linebacker coach last year. Okay, I guess I thought last year it was the guy that left and went to Florida and one of the gentlemen that went to Mississippi. But maybe I don't know. Maybe that was defensive backs or something. I don't know. So, but thank you for that. Thank you for that, Blue Devil. I appreciate it. Yeah, Jerry, it might be much to do about nothing, but I'm not so certain. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not so certain. But I know one thing: Colorado not good when it comes to picking coaches that ain't Coach Prime. They programs seem to suffer. When I tell you the men's basketball is dead last, I was like, okay, I thought maybe they were like 1 or 2 or 2 or 3 that they could go to the NCAA. They are dead last. I was like, wow. So they might, and see, that should make them think. We don't want to go back to irrelevancy. We got a basketball team that's dead last. We was 1-11 when Coach Prime got here. We got Doc only because Coach Prime chose him. We didn't. So we're going to secure him. And then we're going to start doing these things. Next is slander. That's next. And it's going to look like it's coming from people in Boulder, but it's not. And if that's where we're going, things going to get ugly real fast. That's how these situations go. Queen T said, I don't want Coach Prime and college coaching. As soon as Coach Prime got to college coaching, Nick Saban retired. I think it's a lot of unethical things that was done that we haven't been exposed to. I think Nick Saban retired because he did. Okay, NIL changed the landscape. As you can see, players can up and go where they have to. They don't lose. It used to you lose like a year or two. That's not the case anymore when you transfer, and you can get paid. Coach Nick Saban felt like, and it might have been some unethical stuff. I'm not talking about that, but Nick Saban felt like he didn't have control, that the rosters were being put together based on money. I think his comment about Ohio State paying $20 million for its roster was to the tune of something about, who do you really have, though? In other words, are you paying for talent or are you paying for bodies? So I believe that that's why he left. He don't have the control that he had over the players. I can see Nick Saban was in control. If I don't want you on my team, I could get rid of you. You can't do that no more. You got to be careful about dismissing people because you might or might not get somebody in the portal. Same thing conversely with the players hopping in the portal. Coach Prime said, don't hop in the portal unless you have somewhere to go. You see what I'm saying? Same thing with the coaches. Don't kick this young man off your team until you have a replacement. Not just a body, but talent. That's like that one guy. I don't know what his name is, but he was considering Colorado. He went to Texas. He went to another school, and then he ended up in Washington, and then he left there, and they say he ended up locked up. I'm like, what is it? What is going on? So, you got to be careful with the moves you make. And yesterday I asked you guys, had you heard that Coach Prime is starting to get players out of high school more this year? And I thought that was interesting. And I said to myself, okay, is it because they said he's changing his recruiting strategy? Is it because at the end of the year, that's it? Is that why why high school all of a sudden? I feel like things are already changing. It's just not on the forefront. I think I'm just looking at certain things. Like Mama T, that's interesting in itself. I don't know what happened there. So it's interesting. It's interesting. Let's see. Hey Kiel, happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. It says, I am still on the fence with Travis, but I still support him. I mean, it's like one of those things. I already said what I had to say about him getting married. I make no issues about it. He should not be getting married to this particular person at this time in his life. He needs to be a rookie. He needs to get his own place. He needs to be a rookie, and he needs to focus on his career. He needs to make sure that his career is a priority. And I pointed out when he was at the combine, the cameraman zoomed right on him when he took himself away from the other DBs to sit down and pull out his phone and get ready to text, as if my mind is somewhere else because I'm not there. And I'm like, you're going to mess yourself up. So I don't think he needs to get married, but it might happen. And he going to learn. So that's all you can do. At first, it was very upsetting because everybody cared about him. But honestly, as I start to see more of who he is and how he contributes to his own demise, then there's nothing you can say. See, it's different when this happened with Travis, and we felt like he was unaware of what was really going on, that he was what some people would say love struck. In other words, what did I use? I used an analogy of sending a person a life raft. You send a person a life raft once and they drowning and they send it back to you. And then you send a person a life raft again and then they send it back to you. And then another person comes along, they see you trying to help. They assume that the person wants help and does not want to drown. And I said, the two of y'all get life rafts and send it out to him. And he pushes them back. You look at each other and say, oh shit, he want to drown. That's where I'm at. And I've been there. So once I realized that he just want to drown, nothing you could do. I didn't like the moves he was making. Supposed to go fishing with Coach Prime. Coach Prime talked about the fishing trip. He didn't want to go. I mean, people kept saying in the comments that fishing trip ain't gonna happen. So he went out to Coach Prime's house. He went to get his boat. He went on the trip, but he brought her brother with him. I didn't like that because I knew what he was doing. He was using her brother as a buffer between him and Coach Prime. And when did that start? So when he finished with Colorado, when they had when they left like the send off for the Alamo Bowl, he and Shedeur were playing basketball, and he was all smiles, but I could see he was faking it, trying to keep it together. And afterwards, he walks out the gym past everybody like they did something to him, and didn't speak to none of them. Didn't say, "Peace, guys, I'm out." Nothing. Just went to get his boat, yelling and screaming at Shedeur during the game. People did not like that. So I was happy to see him speak up for Shedeur. I heard they were supposed to be rooming together at the combine. I don't know if it happened or not. I kind of get the feeling it didn't. I get the feeling maybe he had an Airbnb. I don't know. So I don't hold grudges. Sometimes you have to start over with people. Now, for me, starting over with Travis starts with him standing up for Shedeur, because I knew he was distancing himself. When Shedeur didn't know about the wedding, I was like, that says a lot. When you don't tell your brother that you're getting married and what the date is, and you say you want you excited for the wedding, but you just want to hang out with the family and eat. One, he ain't family no more. He ain't even know when the wedding was, and you ain't even tell him you had, set a date. I didn't like how he was moving. So once I saw him moving a little shady, a little shysty, a little two-faced, and just screw everybody, I was out. That's what led to my decision to say, I don't follow him no more. So, but now, he standing up for Shadua could be for himself. But I think it's genuine. So I'm willing to start over again, exclusive of caring about his relationship, because that's going to go where it's going to go. And I don't care, because we're going to send out 1,000,000 life rafts and he just send them all back. So that's how you start over with people. You have to be realistic about who they are. Meaning, okay, I can pay attention to what you got going on. It don't bother me no more, because you're going to do what you're going to do, and I'm cool with it. And I see you standing up for Shadua, somebody that you said was your brother, even though, it's like you tried to run off from everybody. But Bucky stayed up with him. That's one thing I said about Bucky about 2 weeks ago when they were at the combine, about a week ago. I said one thing about Bucky, he keep up with them. Everybody. He said on camera, I already talked to Travis. He on his way, or he getting ready to go. So Bucky is that guy. Bucky is that guy. I think he said he talked to Shiloh and Bucky more than he talks to Shadua. And we saw who Shadua was hanging out with, the QBs. He hung out with Cam. We saw him stay. And see, we didn't see Travis stay. We saw Shadua stay, saying that we're family, so we'll try it again. We'll see how it goes. But that's life. You have to start over sometimes with people, understanding what the expectation is. Not much. And that's the difference. You don't have any expectations. Gunnar White is the offensive coach. Oh yeah, he's the Gunnar White is the, what do you call that? The O-line coach, right? Is that what you're saying, Sharitha? Gunnar White, the O-line coach that came from Jackson State. It says, of Coach Prime leaving the school, we'll have money. Coach Prime leaving the school, we'll lose money. Yeah. The basketball team being dead last told me everything I needed to know. When I saw that, I said, you know what? They gonna fool around and they gonna mess up. And they just try to make it look nice right now. That's all. They heard what Coach Prime said. If I heard it, they heard it. So they know what time it is. They just trying to make it look like it's gonna be on him. And they wanted him to stay. FSU, Mr. Sanders, we don't want. Coach Prime don't like Florida State. I think because of that whole interview process and how they did him or whatever. Honestly, I don't know where he would go. I think the NFL. Honestly, I really think. I mean, if it ain't Alabama, and I know people like, what? If it ain't Alabama, because I live right here in Georgia. I mean, Coach Prime and Nick Saban are friends. So I can see Alabama. I can't see the people at Alabama, maybe. But then again, maybe they don't care. They might want the money. See, it depends. See, everybody know the Coach Prime effect is locked solid. It is. No matter where he goes, it goes with him. Just like Shadua, no matter where he goes, changing and transforming the program into a winning program goes with him. So everybody knows that now. So the question is, would y'all want Coach, if the marriage comes to an end, would y'all want Coach Prime? This is the question I want y'all to answer in the chat. Do you want Coach Prime to go to another college team, another college football team? Would you want him to coach another college football team? Now, we ain't gonna worry about which one yet. We won't worry about which one yet, even though that might matter, but we talking about overall. Or would you want him to go to the NFL? I'm gonna say the NFL. And I'm gonna tell you why. It's possible that his purpose for coming to the Power 5 is done. What was posted the other day by Life in Football? I think I talked about it. It's actually on my stories. It said they hate Coach Prime, but he has 3 head coaches that has come from his coaching tree. And we talked about TC Taylor, the guy that went to San Diego or San Jose or whatever school that was, and somebody else. I don't know who the somebody else is. But then it's not just head coaches. What about the coach? Was it Nick Wright that went to Syracuse, who's over there with Fran Brown, who's Colorado's competition, when it comes to recruiting. And I wonder if that's why we going the high school route. There's a reason for the high school route. Y'all know that's not Colorado's MO. It's either setting up for the future without him, and he's not about to sit up here and keep recruiting for these folks, knowing, in other words, I'm gonna finish what I started. I got Juju here, I got Caden here, I got this, that, and the other. When it recruiting going forward, going back to high school, maybe he like, y'all go ahead and do it. What did he say when he brought Doc Livingston and Pat Schumer to the front that day? He said, y'all come on down here. Y'all gonna be head coaches. Y'all come on down here. I'm gonna let y'all do it. So we're gonna see if this is just a novel I'm reading or if it's a reality. It might not come to fruition for a minute, but if it is, you're gonna start seeing more and more change. You're gonna stop seeing him bringing resources to Colorado. You're not gonna see where he going next. You might not even understand it. I don't know how the NFL works. When they got all their coaches, they not revisiting that issue. Let's just say if he left Colorado at the end of the season and the NFL is midway through the season, he got to wait till next season. And that could happen. That could happen. Then they got Bill Belichick, he in college now. People like that. So Coach Prime transformed college football. We know this, right? Transfer portal, coaches coming from the NFL coaching staff, other coaches that leave the program or that Coach Prime moved on from become head coaches. That could be it. That could be it. God don't expect you to take the heat forever. He don't leave you nowhere that you're not appreciated, and he don't expect it to rain forever. It might rain until you finish your job, and when you finish your job, it's gonna stop raining and you're gonna be gone. I'm just telling you, it's a possibility. So it's a novel I'm reading, or it's gonna come to fruition. So y'all let me know. Do you think Coach Prime and his next step, regardless of when it is, should be a college football head coach, or if she should be an NFL coach? My vote is NFL. All right, so let's see. It says basketball has 3 first-round picks last year, none this year, and the women's team too. Oh, well, I don't know. I know they in last place, so I don't know what that means. What is that? What are you saying about that, Blue Devil? Like, do you think they should be last because that's what they drafted last year? Or are you saying you have better expectations because they had 3 first-round draft picks? Let me know your thoughts. It say you may be right, but nobody is talking about Baylor. Right. No, nobody's talking about Baylor because Baylor is a Methodist university. They have rules. And I feel like that's why they chose Baylor. I think that, to me, it makes sense. Now that because when I first read it, I'm like, for one, the first thing that jumped out at me was the timing. Why is this coming out right now? And I'm looking at how things are happening. And then when I'm talking to y'all, I'm like, Baylor is parochial. It's Methodist. That's why they use Baylor. Because I know Pastor Dewey prayed before and after other games. I knew that. But they chose Baylor because they're trying to say CU is not Baylor. That's like basically saying we really hate the culture at CU now because Coach Prime brought HBCU culture to Colorado. So they would pit the two against each other to hold it up and say, because I heard somebody say, Coach Prime, the culture at CU is more HBCU than whatever. There are some people that you have to understand that don't like that. And they had to, in their minds, endure it. But when it comes to Jesus, they might, which Jesus you pray to, I guess, they might draw the line there. And would it make a difference if Pastor Dewey was white? It's possible. Which I don't understand about Coach Prime at this Power 5 program with all this money. It comes with a lot of power, a lot of influence, and you have the ability to bring in who you want. And that's cool. And around, I saw DeAndre's video. Mama T was in it. I think Coach Prime's sister was in it. I was looking at The Office. They were in Coach Prime. Everybody was black. I was like, when you're going up the hallways, this one, Bucky, I think, was dating a young lady. It was just number of black people in the hallways. I was like, I know how some people are. So, this praying thing, is a mask. If it comes down to it, it's a mask, because you can't say out loud, we don't like the direction CU is going with HBCU culture. Oh, we got, and it's true. See, you got a lot of more black students now. They had some black staff, but they got way more black students than they had before. They got people considering CU that had never considered CU. So it's not Lily White no more. They got people that's probably changing that. You got people moving to the city. So people seeing a lot of change, and they seeing him have a lot of power because he brought in Pastor Dewey. It wasn't a problem before. Now it's a problem when we in negotiations. It's a mask. Hey, Herman, welcome. If Coach Prime leaves, they have Marshall Faulk, and I think he would be the head coach. I think Marshall Faulk going right where Coach Prime going. All of them are. It's a few of them that's not, but you probably can figure out who it is, except for maybe one or two. Nah. I don't see Marshall Faulk staying at CU. I mean, he just signed a contract, so I don't know. I don't see it, though. I don't see it. See, here's the thing. And it's not just about loyalty. How did these coaches get to Colorado? So why would I stay here if this is how you treat the person that helped you? I'm telling y'all, this ain't a good look. This story is a mask because it's the cleanest, nicest story that could potentially keep CU from being the villain. They don't want it to come down to Coach Prime. Breaking news, Coach Prime decides to leave Colorado. Not CU doesn't want Coach Prime here no more because it's too much like an HBCU. He got too much power and influence. He keep hiring all these black people, yada, yada, yada. That's a mask. They've been praying. How long Coach Prime been at Colorado? We going on year 3. I know in year 1, somebody was out here praying. I'm pretty sure it was. Why now? Contract negotiations. This is a mask. I am not sure what connections they have with Chattanooga. They are getting married here soon. They said they wanted the venue, Jerry, to be. You in Chattanooga? Oh, you did say you in Chattanooga. Good. Good. She picked the venue in Chattanooga, and people say it was for legal reasons to try to get out of a prenup if it comes to that. And something about the venue, I don't know. I can't talk about it because it makes me upset. Sweet Caroline said, hey, what she said, they are in a soul tie now. Soul ties are very deep. It is a spiritual side to this. Yeah. I don't know who you're talking about, but let me know. I don't know. Some people say it's more like it's a term that people use when you are emotionally. See, a negative, if we talk about Travis, having an unhealthy emotional attachment to a person could keep you in a bad situation, but you think you need this person, and they likely reeled you in. I'm gonna just go ahead on and say that. Y'all know I like Travis. I like Travis too. Now we know Travis is younger than Travis, but you can look at the two of them and see which one of them has confidence. I know that's his brother. I know people in these situations where the older brother is the one that lacks confidence, and the younger brother is the one that has it. I've seen it before. It's not a new phenomenon, but that's their scenario. That's why when Travis say, I'm not putting my brother on because nobody put me on, because he knew. He knows. Travis is him. And not just because he can play ball. The way he walks and talks. He's him. He knows he's him. He's confident. Travis don't have it. And you have to ask yourself, why? Because he know he is still an athlete. Is it because he saw this pretty woman and, you know, he felt like she has to validate him? His brother don't give off that's going down that way. You could see it. And I thought about it earlier today. And I hate it because they brothers. And the younger brother looks up to the older brother. But sometimes the younger brother realizes the older brother just don't have that confidence and they make their own lane. I've seen it. I mean, it's the truth. But, what can you do? I mean, we all got choices out here. We all got choices, and if you decide to hide behind your relationship because you have insecurities about yourself and you put up with what people give you rather than choose for yourself, and you allow a person to think for you and have access to all your money and have you to get married in a state where they throw a prenup out if she says she ain't read it for that simple reason, then it's just going to be a very painful, inexpensive lesson. But he got a brother, he'll be there. Bucky will be right there for him. He'll be right there for him. So will Coach Prime. So all you got to do is look at him. You can just see the difference. And just in the way they carry themselves. And that tells you that maybe it wasn't the parenting, because that's what people were thinking, self-included, after the Heisman. And the comment came out about him being a mistake. That could be it, because maybe she never said that about the other one. Maybe they treated differently. He said something about living in a garage at her house, and if his brother didn't live out there, then his brother had a bedroom, and he hasn't gotten over his childhood yet, which means, you can't say that that's all immaturity. You can just say he needs to go to therapy, to see a licensed therapist, so he can understand that he's allowing choices to be made for him because he has a negative, unhealthy emotional attachment to a person that he thinks validates him, even though he's him. If Colorado let Coach Prime go, they're making a big mistake. They won't have a packed stadium. They will lose the prime effect, in my opinion. Oh, they're going to lose the prime effect, but they think they're going to take the blueprint to the prime effect and keep it going. Why you don't hear the people in the community speaking out? I mean, I ain't in Boulder, but, with social media, you would think that they call in Chamber of Commerce meetings who actually came and thanked Coach Prime for that $108 million revenue that they generated over 6 home games. That's more than some small countries make. I don't hear them saying nothing. Yeah, Chattanooga is nice. I like Chattanooga. It's only an hour from Atlanta. It's a great weekend escape. Queen T, I would like to see him in the NFL. Coach Prime, okay, good. All right, so Queen T said she would like to see Coach Prime in the NFL. After Colorado, she doesn't want to see him go back to a college football team. I agree. Caroline said NFL with both of his sons on the same team. Okay. I like that. Thank you, Caroline. 22 said no. I'd rather see him go to the NFL with Shedeur and Shiloh. Okay, we got another one. All right. And Jerry says stay in college. Oh, okay, Jerry, that's different. All right. And then it says he has more influence on the younger men. That's true. I think, from speaking for myself, I know I want him to go to NFL because I'm sick of all of this hatred thrown at him, because on the college level, the way they did Herm Edwards, the way they did the coach that was at A&M, I can't remember his name, how they try and coach Prime. It's just a continuation of not wanting black head coaches. But then Fran Brown is at Syracuse. Then you got Willie Simmons at FIU. That's a part of Coach Prime's process. Even though he didn't probably have anything to do with where they are, he opened that door. That's why I say his work might be done. I got Fran Brown came after Coach Prime. You don't hear nothing about Fran Brown. He probably doing the best that Syracuse has ever done with this head coach. Nick Wright is over there. They are competitors against Colorado when it comes to recruiting. I don't know if that's why we're doing high school now, but it could be. I just don't see Coach Prime being there after this year. And let me tell you why. Regardless of what Colorado got going on, when you go to bat for somebody, you uproot your life, you don't need money, and you put up with all of the hatred and sabotage that Coach Prime put up with in year one, and you in year 2, you change your staff, you do a second rebuild because that's what it was. And I don't know why he had those coaches the first time, but you got a second rebuild. And I don't know how y'all feel about it, but it seems to me, and I'm not sure if I should even say this out loud. I guess I always wonder, like, is Coach Prime 100% free to choose all of his coaching staff? Anybody guess why I can say that? Why I'm thinking that? So when you go to bat for somebody, and you change, that's like somebody coming into your life and they was really, really bad off, okay? And you go there, they ask you to come there and help them, and you help them, and they get back on their feet and they stand up and they do well. Maybe the first year they stumble a little bit. It started off well, but then somebody came along and tried to sabotage what they had planned. So we do it again in the second year, and you stand up straight, 9-4, 9-3 or something like that. You go to a bowl game, something they haven't done. Miss Peggy was 100 years old. They make that happen for her. You got to deal with reporters from CBS in the area, hating on you publicly after your press conferences, to the point where you got to rely on your belief in Jesus to keep going off on this man, that instead of going off on him, you ask him, who hurt you? Because the way you are conducting yourself, it feels like you have been hurt. You know how much strength and faith in God it took to do that? Your son car get booted. When at he could have been at UT, they would have never booted that car. Somebody might be like, yeah, they would. No, they wouldn't. They would have found him and said, hey, put a note. Please, we don't want to have to boot your car. Coach Prime the way Shedeur bent over backwards to try to make that O-line feel loved and appreciated when before the season started. The first year, he took them out to eat, this, that, and the other. And you can see it on their faces then. They wasn't having it. Coach Prime has done the same thing, bent over backwards for Colorado. I just think right now they setting it up to make it look like what I said. He wants to leave. We want him to stay. They trying to put that decision about God on him. That ain't going down like that. And the fact that he said out loud in front of the entire room, and I know that that's what I heard because somebody else caught it too, and said, you've been interviewing for head coaching jobs, right? And he made him say right. Also, Doc's posture today, on the video I watched, he was standing like this. His little son in front of him. Body language is everything. So it's something going on. And when Coach Prime said that, trust me when I say everybody heard it. So I'm thinking that's why the high school recruiting, or could it be because we getting stiff competition? Change. He's done everything he could do for those people, and they still allowing people to come at him. What did I say during the season? What did I say? I said, if the Big 12 don't do something about these damn referees that's allowing what happened at Kansas and Kansas State. And remember that referee telling Coach Prime that at Texas Tech, that his players were blowing kisses. That was a Tech player, number 5, Taj Brooks. Or number 2, whatever number he was. Taj Brooks was the one that went in the end zone and did this. He said it was a Colorado ref. And Coach Prime just lost it. Coach Prime should not have to fight that battle himself. That's what Colorado Regents are for. That's what the Big 12 is for. That's what the NCAA is for. All of the money that Colorado has bought that conference, and they can't even do something about these refs, they don't want him there. And now that Colorado got what they wanted, the money, they going to try to take that blueprint and spin it themselves with Doc. That's the only reason they would give him the contract they gave him. That's why Doc's standing like this on video. He don't know he on video, but that's why he's standing like this. It's already been said out loud. Fans are starting to pick it up and say it in the chat. It's about the landing. Who's at fault? What really happened? Why would he leave? Why wouldn't he get a contract? Is it about money? Or is it about they want the money, but not Coach Prime? Did he do something? Is it about the praying? Or is it just what it's always been? This is a quote. If you choose, now listen to this. If you choose to hold somebody down, understand that when they get back up, they're going to be exactly who they were before. Who did I say? What did I say? Coach Prime held these people down. Well, they done got back up now. Except for the basketball. I don't know what's going on with that. But the football team got back up. And they didn't just get back up by going to the bowl game. They got money. $28 million for the Buff Club. Them schools didn't generate that from their skiing and all that stuff. They didn't generate that kind of money before. But now that they got it, and I got the blueprint, and thank you for choosing Doc for me, this is what we going to do. They just been waiting. Y'all heard anything from the AD? Rick George, he might not even have a job afterwards. I know it's people that probably burn his name in effigy every day that he made the decision to hire Coach Prime. Even though, see, there are some people that would rather lose and be mediocre than to get the right person for the job if they're black. We say this in the NFL. We talk about the quarterbacks. Look how they trashing Russ. Russ is actually good. And yesterday we talked, Kiel said, Russ ain't getting no offer yet. He told the Giants, okay. He told the Steelers, okay. They waiting on Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers versus Russ. 41 versus 36 and can still get them done. And DK Metcalf is there. They best friends. That's chemistry. And what? In January, before January ended, it's documented. Google it. Pittsburgh said they want to keep Russ. So why Pittsburgh can't sign Russ? Because somebody else is meddling. Just like this situation with Coach Prime. And when you are a good person and you bend over backwards for somebody, and when they get up, they're going to be who they were before. And we know that there were people that didn't want Coach Prime there. They done had enough. So just like what we see with Russ and Aaron Rodgers and the fact that Pittsburgh want to keep him, it's somebody meddling. Somebody you can't see is meddling. It's the same thing because they don't want Russ to be successful. They don't want Coach Prime to get further than 9-4 because they know it's going to happen. We got Juju. We got Caden. Plus, Coach Prime is actually a good coach. He can get it done. They know this. So that's why I say, leave all this foolishness with these refs, these conferences not standing up, the regents not standing up, allowing all of this foolishness. If they wrote a 4-page document about Pastor Dewey Smith praying after the Baylor win, who you think they gave the document to? Would you put on the internet? We ain't reading it. And if we do read it, we're going to pick it apart. I already know I will pick it apart because praying is not a religion. That's Christianity. And if they're not concerned, if they're not of a different faith like Judaism or something like that, then this has nothing to do with religion. What, they want a pastor from a different religion to say the prayer? Or is it because it's a black pastor? Or is it because they praying? Which one is it really? And that's where we are with this scenario. What's really going on? Who really pulling the strings? Who really meddling? Who really is out here trying to find a way to get rid of Colorado? Who is it really? They back there. It'll come out eventually. Eventually. If it come out in the NFL, which I doubt, it might not ever come out in college. But Coach Prime, no. And that's why he said what he said in that meeting. And I'm not the only person that caught it. You've been applying for head coaching jobs, right? Then you come on down here and coach. Y'all be the head coaches. That's what he said. And it goes right in line with that little prayer wisdom that he put out. And I read it to y'all. Blue Devil said college. CU basketball team. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know why they so bad. I don't know. Sarithia says yes. The Blue Devil says CU basketball team had then first round picks coming to CU because of Coach Prime. Oh, you know what? Let me tell you what I said to myself. I know I remember, and see, I said this when I know Coach Prime was in Mexico, but I don't know when CU played their last game. I know the elimination just happened before the game that took place for the conference today. So obviously he couldn't be at the game. But remember, he used to be at the games. The men's games. And those students love Coach Prime, and they love those. They love Shedeur being there. They love the players. It wasn't just Shedeur. It was like Shedeur, Jordan Seaton. They were happy. And when Coach Prime rolled into CU for the first time in that black Sprinter van after the Celebration Bowl, Jackson State lost. Okay. All right. I'm sorry. The door blew open. The door blow open. Excuse me. It's super windy here. And when he first rolled in, Miss Tracy was with him at the time. And they all were walking through the hallways. They had the player with the number 2 on. Shedeur was so young. They went to the Cedar Field. It was kids that wasn't even supposed to be out there yelling, "Welcome to CU, Coach Prime. We love you, Shedeur," this, that, and the other. They weren't even supposed to be out there. When they sold tickets to the home game, them kids slept out there to get those tickets. They were out there for hours in line to get those tickets. Look at that jumpsuit. I'm still trying to find it. I wish it had been corduroy, but I'm going to take it like it is. I'm still trying to find it. We talked about the contributions. They know exactly who he is. They brought him there with his belief in God and praying at Jackson State. They didn't ask him not to do it then. So let's see if they allow this to be the thing that is the deal breaker. And you can't put it on Coach Prime because you knew who he was when he got there. We all did. That's why I say, you know what? Kevin Sumlin, that's the coach name at Texas A&M. Go read how they did him. Then Herm Edwards, go read how they did him. Herm Edwards said he is glad to be back in broadcasting. Antonio Pierce was on his staff at Arizona State, and his quarterback was Jaden Daniels, who cleaned out his locker and went to LSU. Antonio Pierce ended up with the Raiders, and what did they do to him? I don't know what was going on there. They said people were making business decisions. I know they had females in there, like women in their top positions. I know that. I don't know what's going on there. So hopefully all of that's the past. But I say the NFL because I'm tired of all of the hatred. Just like I'm tired of the hatred towards Shedeur for no reason. I'm tired of the hatred towards Coach Prime. I don't like seeing him treated that way when he's done nothing but try to elevate these people, do the job they hired him to do. And I really don't care for how they gave Doc Livingston a historical contract. And Coach Prime don't have his. If Coach Prime had his first and then they gave that to Doc, then I get it. But it's being dressed up as other schools want to get Doc. Did he say he want to leave? So other schools don't want to get Coach Prime. That's what we supposed to believe. Okay, all right. So either they're gonna do this deal and they're gonna put all that foolishness to bed. In my opinion, the business community needs to be the one to light the fire. That's who needs to light it, because that's a lot of money. And if they think they're gonna still make that, okay. So, and that's what they think. That's why you don't hear nothing. So what I'm saying is, being treated this way leaves a sour taste in your mouth, and you realize that even after everything that he's done and contributed towards their betterment, their financial success, they still willing to treat him that way. What that means is what I said. When you choose to hold somebody down, when they get back up, they're going to be exactly who they were before. And we know there were dissenters when he got there. He been attacked since he got there. I'm sick of it. And Coach Prime is not the only one. It's just not happening at Syracuse, maybe because they protected him. But if he start losing, we'll see. But like I said, TC Taylor he's head coach at Jackson State. They actually win the Celebration Bowl. Willie Simmons, who was head coach at FAMU when Coach Prime was at Jackson State, is now hired by FIU. Then they got this coach from Marshall that's now at a college in Mississippi. So Coach Prime has opened a lot of doors, but he was on the heels of Herm Edwards and Kevin Sumlin, and neither one of them were treated right. They fired Kevin Sumlin on the field. Herm Edwards on the field to embarrass him. And I think Coach Prime is right in the middle. He's right in the middle. And maybe at a different program, they would have hurried up and inked it. And I told y'all when Ohio State, they hurry up and secured Ryan Day, and their roster was $20 million. Colorado got it done, and we didn't even have no $20 million roster. I mean, we didn't go all the way, but we went 9-4 and a bowl game. Baby steps. Maybe they didn't deserve to go all the way. If they treating him like, we don't need you, we got our man. Maybe that's why. Because I said it's a reason why we're not supposed to go to the Big 12. It's a reason why we only supposed to go this far. And if you look at it, it's because Coach Prime did what he said he was going to do. Now let's see if they show respect, loyalty, and appreciation. Or if they think, you know what, since we know how to get it done, we're going to take your blueprint and use it without you. Thank you. And that's why they didn't go all the way if it come down to it. And if it get ugly and they make it look like it's him backing him into a wall with a mask called anti-religion, that's why they didn't go past the bowl game. Coach Prime did everything he said he was going to do. Let's see if they're going to be appreciative. And that's what it comes down to. And we know he know his worth, and we know he not backing off praying. He been praying. It said Colorado State is 12 in the March Madness bracket. Yay! All right. Okay, Sharitha, thank you for that. It said Marshall Fox said he came to see you because of Coach Prime. Right. So did Warren Sapp. And Warren Sapp could have went to 2 other universities. He had other offers. He didn't have to go to Colorado. Doc Livingston came because of Coach Prime. Everybody there, Pat Schumer too. Alabama and Georgia team is 80% black players, Blue Devil. Alabama and Georgia, yeah. I think Georgia get their lineman from Grayson High School. And their coach is like only 30 years old. He's black, and he not only took his team to the championship for high school in Georgia, they won. They beat Juju's team. They said Juju had a broken hand or something. But I still have video from that to share. I said I was going to try to work it in some kind of way. So Grayson, these kids are huge. That's where I think Georgia get those kids from. And Colorado recruited in Georgia. Did y'all know that? We got players from Georgia. We got players from Mississippi. How many times did that happen before Coach Prime got there? Those kids were so complacent, living in a lap of luxury, practicing and going to school in a lap of luxury, eating this. Coach Prime even brought the chef with him. Did y'all know that Chef Solomon came with Coach Prime? He knew Bucky. And look, the food they eat is amazing. Coach Prime was like, we never had nothing like this. And they tried to tear him down because he knew those kids were too complacent to care to try to win. They was just floating on their scholarship and living in the lap where they didn't care. But people try to tear him down because he said he bringing his Louis with him, and he did. And they're rock stars. Coach Prime shaking up the NFL football. Old Boy Network, CU may want him gone more than they want to win. Now that's facts. That's facts. We're going to see who get drafted. That's what I said when all of these combine invites went out. Alabama, y'all know they didn't have the best season, right? They was ranked number 17? They had, if they had 8 or if they had 9 eligible NFL draft prospects, they got 9 combine invites. That's politics. Naughty Slim lives in Tennessee, allegedly. I thought he lived here. Now, I didn't know that, Queen T. That's interesting. Sweet Caroline said it's called trauma bonding. That's what people say. Yeah, there's a term for it too, when a person is emotionally attached to their abuser and they can't free themselves. It's another term, but yeah, trauma bonding is what people say it is. You bonding around the trauma that they caused you. Some people think trauma bonding is 2 people meeting each other. They've been through the same thing and they bond over that trauma. No, trauma bonding is when, like we say, Travis's situation, you have one person who has the power and influence, and they know they kind of manipulating this other person, and yanking their chain is a term that somebody would say, manipulation. And the other person feels attached to them, that they need them, and they can't free themselves. They bonding around the trauma that he's bonding around the trauma that one person has caused him. It said Coach Prime shaking up the college. Yeah, he is. Oh, 400. Thank you, 400 Circle Media. I appreciate the financial support. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And Kiel and Gracie, James and Darlene. Thank y'all too. Thank y'all so. We have memberships. If y'all want to join us, we do have memberships. We have a new sub today. So Jerry is a new sub. So we want to welcome him. Thank you so much. It said Rick probably wants to pay him, but people over him have a problem with it. Yes. Yes. That's why I said he might not be there either. See, let me tell you what they're waiting on. You know, April 7th is the day that it's 100% whether or not the 22 million in revenue sharing is going to be the reality. It's like people are moving forward, believing that it's the reality. That way, you know, as a coach, you don't have to ask for 20 million in NIL. You get to share 22 with other programs, but programs like Ohio State still probably going to have 20 million for the football team. Texas A&M, who had 5 million, I think, still probably going to end up with 10 million. Because they understand, they see. Don't think UT not looking at Ohio State and going, they actually won with that $20 million roster. And we got close with our $5 million roster. So let's bump it up to $10 million. You know what I mean? Is Coach Prime's contract not signed because maybe he asked for more NIL money and they said no? I don't think so. Not because of the whole revenue sharing thing. Not because Coach Prime, Colorado has hired every coach that Coach Prime has bought there that we know of. The ones that I believe that, you know, he brought there. So, you know, they haven't said no, you know. So I don't see him being that kind of person. And he actually said he wanted his coaches to actually get paid properly rather than himself. So what's the holdup then if that's how he feels? We shall see. I wondered that too because he got another cussing bomb. Oh yeah, you know what? I watched a video today, Caroline. He cusses. I was thinking, didn't we just get rid of somebody who cussed a lot? And now we got another one. Yeah, I thought the same thing. Okay, 400 Circle Media say he been busy, but he been here. I appreciate you. I do. Y'all show up every day or almost every day. I appreciate it. I really do. Sharitha said Rick probably want to pay. I do think Rick George want to pay. That's why probably you don't see him. He like, I don't want to be caught up in this. But I got news for him. In case he didn't notice, he might want to go with Coach Prime too. So yeah, the new guy, Pecco, he cusses a lot. Cheap viewers on, oh, that's somebody. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I can't remove it. It says 400 Circle Media chat, hold it down. Thank you so much, 400 Circle Media. I appreciate it. It said Herman Flood, it says, looks like the NFL owners are maneuvering available QBs to avoid who? What they're doing is, the first sign that the NFL was getting ready to be different after its social justice movement was the Super Bowl, when it was reported that a visitor came and wanted them to remove in racism from the end zone. Somebody that don't go to the games, that don't even patronize the league, decided they wanted to show up and flex their power. And they came, and so they removed in racism. After that, that's why I feel like people be like, okay, well, I guess we could go back to doing what we did before. And I say, you know what? It's really having in racism in the end zone. It wasn't a big deal to me because it's how you treat people. If you blackballing Russ because of this collusion lawsuit and you wouldn't blackball him if he was white, then having in racism don't matter. If you trying to cheat Lamar Jackson because his name was central to the collusion lawsuit, that the collusion case that the NFL was found guilty of colluding against veteran QBs with their salaries, all three of them happen to be black. So having in racism doesn't matter if you're going to be racist. That's just performative. So I didn't care about it. But to me, ever since that happened, they bowed to that pressure. It's just been open season on the QBs. Why? Because the QB sits at the top of the hierarchy with the team. But I tell people, if you go watch Evolution of a Black Quarterback and you finish watching it, and then you look at what's happening, and y'all notice I always start with Lamar, but I could have started with Geno Smith, who Stephen A. say is actually an above average QB. So let's see what happens in Vegas. Because if Vegas gets Shedeur and was going to always get Shedeur, and you got Geno, who you benching? And he an above average QB. Why he couldn't stay there in Seattle? Why Sam Darnold? Why couldn't Minnesota pay him? Why didn't Daniel Jones stay in Minnesota? Now they got to get another quarterback. Why they just didn't? So they trying to bench these young guys coming in. They even said JJ McCarthy too young to start, but then somebody else said, well, Minnesota got they started in JJ McCarthy, so they not in agreement on that. But if you black, they are in agreement. Let's see where Cam Ward ends up. Some people say the Giants. If he start, that's gonna be a miracle. So to me, they're trying. I told y'all they felt like Justin Fields got to wait. So they're trying to manipulate the majority of the quarterbacks, and they're trying to manipulate the majority of the quarterbacks from being black as much as possible. And then if they got to get in the league because I need their talent, I need to manipulate who starts and who doesn't. So you take Daniel Jones from second behind JJ McCarthy and send him to compete with Anthony Richardson, who I didn't even know was over there. So being quiet don't help you. Everybody knows about Dallas. People got bent out of shape. Michael Parsons did when that young man said they're not trying to win. They're not trying to win. And what is the danger in allowing Dallas to not make winning football games the priority or get into the Super Bowl or the next level the priority? Another team going to be like, well, hell, if they ain't got to win, they ain't got to win either. And they're going to have a mess. They're going to have a mess. But let the players come in with that mentality. I said 12, 13 years from now, flag football might be the rule of the day in the NFL. Could be. I think we talked about that. I think Kiel and others said the NFL made too much money to move away from tackle football. Let's see what happens if flag football becomes just as popular. If I can get the money from flag football and flag football is not majority black, what do you think I'm going to do? It might take a long time. It might, but it's a possibility. I feel like that's why they have so much love for these tight ends and these O-linemen. When you look at Ohio State and how their $20 million was used, they were willing to pay the receivers that they needed, like a meal or a half a meal, and get them outside deals like Red Bull or somebody that they don't even need to be drinking. But they said quarterback got to get $2 million. The offensive line had to get like $1 million or 1.5. But the corners and the receivers were the least paid out of all that money, and that's who they needed. Because let them tell it, Will Howard ain't that guy, but they pay him the most money. You see, that's what I mean by they go to HBCUs and they get bodies, they get receivers, they get corners. But when they start recruiting quarterbacks, that's how you're gonna know things are different. I was gonna ask y'all, why is it that HBCU basketball teams fold into the NCAA tournament, but not HBCU football does not fold into the regular FBS, FCS, FBS, or whatever? Does anybody have any thoughts about that? Like it seems that it's separate. Like there's a separate HBCU combine. It seems that the HBCU Celebration Bowl can only be played by HBCU teams, but then the other bowl games you get invited. So with basketball, Alabama State made it to the NCAA tournament. They're gonna play tomorrow. I'm probably gonna watch that. I don't understand that. It's still the NCAA, so I don't understand why basketball is inclusive and football is exclusive. Is excluded. If anybody have any thoughts on that, let me know. So yeah, it does seem like the NFL. Yeah, I agree with that. I think that's why, Herman, which you're correct on what you're saying. That is why before the season barely ended, they said Russell Wilson was washed up in trash. Russell Wilson did not have a bad season. In he won what? How many games straight? He didn't have a bad season in Pittsburgh. That's why Pittsburgh wanted him back. Justin Fields is the surprise. They wanted him to be benched. They want him to be number 2. But they wanted Russ gone. And Aaron Rodgers brought in. And now, guess who they waiting on? They say they frustrated. They waiting on Aaron Rodgers. Where y'all think he gonna go? The Giants or the Steelers? I think somebody's in his ear telling him to go to the Steelers, feeling like they're gonna block Russ. But Russ seemed like he could go to the Giants. But if he go to the Giants, chances are he gonna be QB2, and that's what they want for Russ. They don't want him to make it. Who's meddling is those good old boys alum. Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Those are the ones that believe that they gonna take Coach Prime blueprint and spin it with Doc. They believe they got. See, I'm different. If I knew that you was gonna treat Coach Prime like this, I'm on the phone with a lawyer. I'm going to another school and we're gonna figure out how to buy this out because I'm not staying here with this. I don't even want to look like I'm condoning this. That's why I say some of these Josh Allen, the guy that won comeback player over the year over DeMar Hamlin. I don't even know who that was. Flacco maybe or somebody. Doc Livingston. Y'all got to start examining y'all's conscience when you see how they using you to block a black person who deserves it. You see what I'm saying? Like, what does that say about your character? Unless Coach Prime told him to do it, but he didn't, because how he came at him was like, you been out here interviewing for head coaching jobs. He meant his job. And that's why he's standing in the meeting looking like this. And there are people out there who say, well, they want me. Okay, you're going to learn. You're going to learn. You always learn from situations when somebody being stabbed in the back and you take their spot. You always learn. I heard that too, 22. Mm-hmm. Yup. Jerry said, if Coach Prime goes to the NFL, I would like him to be a GM. No, he's too good of a coach for that. I wonder why. Do you have a reason for that, Jerry? That you prefer him to be a GM rather than a coach? Is there something you see that he could benefit from, or that he have more influence? That might be what it is. Let me know your thoughts. He'd have more control because Ozzie Newsome is the one that drafted Lamar Jackson, and we should never forget that. Ego and insecurity runs rampant in football, and Coach Prime shine and success triggers many. Yep. I mean, sometimes, and that's true. That's true. There are people that want to be able to tell you what to do. You shouldn't be able to tell them what to do. As a black person, you shouldn't be able to tell them what to do. That's how some people feel, and they're not all white. Understand that. White people are not the only people racist against black people. You got to understand that. Otherwise, you're going to run right into another person who speaks a different language and they're going to do the same thing. So, yeah, no, I agree with that. Gracie said, but the thing about Georgia's leadership and boosters, let's see what she said. Georgia's leadership and boosters. One. What was that say? Georgia's leadership and boosters are part of. Oh yeah. That's Gracie was basically agreeing. Yeah, I agree. No, I totally agree with that. I totally agree with that. It's like, and when that regent spoke out, I'm like, for a regent to do that over a university, he part of a council, and you that bold, that didn't go nowhere. That's why the guy from CBS thought it was okay. And Coach Prime actually forgave him and they went back to it. So no matter how good he is, it has nothing to do with if he's a good person or not. They not good people. It's because he's black. And that's why I'm like, this whole college thing, is it even worth it? I mean, yeah, working with the young men, that's good too. I get it. However, the money, the only school that gets to keep their money is Notre Dame. So Colorado really could go to the Big 12, win it all. And the Big 12, who not even helping to do something about these cheating referees, could be like, thank you for the money. Have a good day. Whereas at a football team, at least the team wins, even though they're sharing revenue, but at least you get the trophy or something. You know, I don't know. I guess I'm becoming fatigued with all of the hatred and sabotage and disdain for a person who has done nothing but elevate, bring financial success, bring awareness to the university, and get to the goal that they set, the bowl game. I think I'm growing fatigued. And that's what happens. You get tired after a while. And it's because they say God will not give you anything that you can't bear. So when you see yourself getting tired, that means it's almost over. Because you're not going to just be left there. And then when you're gone, you're going to look back and realize how many doors Coach Prime opened, how much good he did for this program. For some people, it ain't going to never matter because he's black. If he was white and did exactly that, he would have had that contract after that bowl game. Ryan Day got his right after they won the chip. And then what? Sarkisian got his. So I don't think it was a question of his value at all. I don't think it's that. They got the money, so I don't think it's the money. So I think Coach Prime might feel slighted in some way on how they handled this. I think Doc's probably might be a little uncomfortable. He gonna do his job too. Coach Prime brought him there, so he might have something to think about. You got to stop and think. When they champion for you and the guy brought you here, and you know, unless something happened behind closed doors with character thing, but we would have heard about it in the news. So people grow tired of being used and abused. And that's what it is. That's what it is. All right. Let's see what's next on my video. Oh, we already at 1 hour and 57 minutes. That's crazy. Okay, so I want to see who was last on this video. It could have been 77, but I think it's somebody else. So we're gonna see. I'll see who it is. Okay, Damar Hamlin. I was just talking about him. Okay, so Damar Hamlin was re-signed to the Buffalo Bills. Now, y'all know what happened. He suffered a cardiac event after being hit, center to the chest, and survived it, came back, played this year, and he was signed to a, let me get it right, 1-year contract for $2 million. Now, just in case y'all don't know, Damar Hamlin was a 6th round pick. Because I was like, I wonder why they only gave him a 1-year contract. He's 26, and they pointed that out when they said when a 26-year-old re-signed for a 1-year contract for $2 million. And then it said he was drafted in 2021, 6th round. So it's supposed to be like, it's a blessing in disguise. And at 26, they make it seem like that's old. What did I tell y'all about these guys? That these players, 26, 27, 28. You better make sure. So the $2 million he might want to make sure he invested properly because, you know, I don't know what's going to happen with him next year. If they only re-signed him one this year, maybe they'll re-sign him next year. So congratulations, but heads up. All right. So what does it say? Jared said, yes, more power. And he said he didn't want to coach in NFL. He will be able to acquire if he could get his sons on the same team. Yeah, he is also great at recognizing talent. Oh, you talking about Coach Prime being a GM? Yep, nope, I totally agree. That's one of the strengths that Shedeur has as well. I totally agree. I totally agree. So we just gonna have to wait and see. But that's why you don't hear me every time something come out about Colorado. I feel like I'm starting to like pump the brakes on that a little bit. I feel like the wind is changing, and I don't think it's a. I don't think what I believe that I'm seeing. Like I said, I could be reading a novel, but I don't think what I believe that I'm seeing is right. It's a little shady. So that's why you see me pumping the brakes on that for the most part. The players are always gonna follow the players. Always gonna follow Coach Prime. So I think the NFL, just because I'm tired of the being the refs, the conference, this, that, and the other, the school. I mean, when everybody is against you, you have to ask God, is it time for me to bounce to the next one? And it could be. And now that his sons are headed to the NFL, he might change. I mean, sometimes you change your thought process. As long as your sons are young and you're coaching them, you might say, and you might believe, and you might feel that this is where I belong. But then you might get to a point like now where they're gone. It feels different. You already see what's going on. You already been sabotaged. The refs cheating you. The school not doing anything. In fact, they securing your DC before they secure you, and even right afterwards, and then all this other stuff coming out. I mean, it's just a lot. It's just a lot. We just want to play football. We just want to watch Coach Prime coach football and be the best he can, but they keep putting all these hurdles in his way. So I think now it's just about how do you, it's like a marriage when it ends. Okay, we can either go out and do this paying lawyers all kind of money, or this could get ugly, or we could just be grown and be like, you know what, okay, we just want to move on. They're not gonna do that. They're gonna have to blame him or put him in a corner and make it look like it's his decision, because it's probably not. I don't think it is. He said too many times he wants to stay, unless they feel like they're punishing him because of the whole is he or isn't he going to the NFL, which was leverage. So we're going to see what it is in time, right? It's punishment for the leverage. I was going to always sign you, give you what you wanted, but I need you to understand you can't pull no stunt like this on me, because we put ourselves in a position that we got docked. So if you want to bounce, cool. We're going to see what it really is. But it's something that's not money. Coach Prime said Livingston that he made sure he had a head coach, and Rick George supposed to be leaving next year. So Coach Prime may be ready to go too. Yeah, I can't imagine, because I felt like that was the stopgap. Rick George, and I know I haven't seen him. Maybe not anything to see right now. But as we get closer to the spring game, we shall see. We shall see. So, all right, y'all, we're going to get ready to get out of here. This was excellent, excellent, excellent. Congratulations to Damar Hamlin. It takes a lot of courage to come back after a cardiac event, and he balled out and they re-signed him. So congratulations. And Jordan Seaton, like I said, he looks like he might be that guy. But we do all kind of have the consensus here that if this is Coach Prime's last year, that the players going with him, and probably some gonna stay, and it's probably divided along racial lines and a few other things. Whose year this is, how I feel, the philosophy, where I have a chance to start, things of that nature. So we just gonna see. And tomorrow, Alabama State plays St. Francis in the this is men's basketball, I believe. They play St. Francis in the first four, and then Southern University. I don't know who they played, but they are going to. They're going to the women's tournament. So I'll be watching those games, and then I'll be watching Penny Hardaway, who I think is the coach at Memphis. I already checked out their highlights from today, and I think Florida beat Tennessee in the SEC. I didn't see Colorado, so I don't know who won the Big 12. So I'm starting to watch a few teams. If you're watching some teams, let me know which teams you're watching in the chat for NCAA basketball, men's and or women's. Of course, USC for women's. Of course, South Carolina, Don Staley for women's, and Southern University. So we shall see. All right, y'all, we have a good night. Thank you for the new subs. Thank you, Jerry. Thank y'all for welcoming Jerry, and thank y'all so much for the interaction tonight. This was excellent conversation. As always, y'all do a good job of engagement, engaging new people and engaging with me to further the conversation. So thank y'all so much. I will be back tomorrow It'll be Monday night, so we'll be back at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Until then, thanks for watching What She Said.